with many of our programs and many of the announcements we made for the warnings or guidance and advice that we provide through the media, we always talk about helping your neighbor. In fact, it was the 10th of January, a little after 5 in the morning, when Mike and Muffy Sleiman, who are one of the neighbors to Pat Malicki, who unfortunately succumbed after some time from her injuries suffered in this event. But Mike happened to be the person who noticed the fire and contacted us. And he didn't just call and say, my neighbor's house is on fire, click. He actually gave us enough information that rather than send an initial assignment of staff, we knew enough from Mike's information, he had the presence of mind to make sure we had enough information that we were able to, what we call, upgrade the fire and send many more resources than we normally would have in a situation like this. Not only did he call us, but then he attempted to assist Pat getting out of her home.
I was so focused on I knew Pat was in there, and I knew she was alone. And it was so early in the morning, there was nobody around, and I just felt that there's no way she could know that there's a fire in there. And I had to get over there. Well, as I was running up her driveway, I was banging on her windows, ran to the back, and I let myself in her back door, and I started yelling hello, hello in her back door with no response. Then I ran back and I started banging on the windows some more, ran back in again, but went further into her kitchen and crouched down and started yelling, Pat, back door, over and over again, about maybe 5 or 6 times. Finally, I heard her say, I'm here, and she appeared through the smoke, and I grabbed her arm and just walked her out the back door, and Muffy was waiting.
The door opened and Mike said, Muffy, I've got her, help me. So I grabbed one side and Mike grabbed the other, and Pat and I were down on the ground, and I just kept talking to her. We talked about her kids, we talked about her babies. I told her everything would be okay, and she was in good spirits, and then help came.
We got the phone call Friday morning about what happened, and because of your actions, we did have the time to come down from Ottawa, Niagara-on-the-Lake, Quebec City, and to be able to make it to Windsor, make it to the hospital, and to be with our mother. At that time she was still able to communicate, and we were able to talk with her. She knew we were there. Her last words, were "I love you," and she was surrounded by people who loved her, and that was the gift that you guys gave to us, and we appreciate that so much.
So today is as much a reflection on a tragedy in this community, a very sad tragedy in this community. It's also taking a moment, taking pause to acknowledge how neighbors do everything in their power to help neighbors. So Muffy, certainly on behalf of all of the women of Windsor Fire and Rescue Services, but more than that, on behalf of the citizens of this great city, I want to thank you for your efforts. And that selfless effort will ever be etched in our minds, and we do thank you sincerely. And Mike, again, in appreciation of your heroism, my friend, and truly that's what it was, heroism. Without thought for your own safety, but only that for Pat and doing what you could to assist her. I want to thank you as well, my friend, and a small token of our appreciation.
I'm just extremely honored, very humbled by this whole experience, by this recognition.
But it's a nice reminder that even though the outcome was not what we would hope for. That it wasn't in vain and that it did make a difference to Pat's family and to Pat, I believe, too.